morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show that asks the question that matters. Are these movies worth the ticket price? In other words, are they worth your time and money? With you as always, co-host of the show and the voice. I'm Jake, and with me as always, sitting across the way, co-host extraordinaire and the only guy who keeps trying to summon Beetlejuice just to tell him how bad the sequel was. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
Just for the record, Beetlejuice was fantastic in Beetlejuice. Everything else was shit.
And you keep trying to summon him to let him know that.
Yes, and then I want to punch Tim Burton in the face.
He has a punchable face.
He does. And not just for Beetlejuice, but for pretty much everything else he's ever made.
All right. Let's be honest. We do that on the show. We're brutally honest sometimes.
Tim Burton's overrated.
Tim Burton's overrated, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
He's made one good film.
Nightmare Before Christmas?
No. Beetlejuice.
So he's made two good films.
No, he's made one good film.
The Nightmare Before Christmas is a good
I didn't
film.
Stutter. I said what I said.
And you're wrong. The Nightmare Before Christmas is worth the ticket price.
I said what I said. Good day, sir. Good day.
I said good day. Okay. But he doesn't have more than that. And you like Batman 89, but we covered that. It's not.
The scars.
Oh, did I tear open a wound?
Yes, they just kind of slowly ripped right there.
I pulled some stitches out. Oh, we're not talking
Tim
about
Burton.
And he won't be on the show anymore. And
that's fine. His dumbass hair wouldn't fit down the stairs.
Yes, but if Tim Burton won't be on the show, if he refuses now, that means Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp will also neither be on the show.
Oh, no.
Although I don't want Johnny Depp on the show anyway. I'm not a Johnny Depp fan.
I don't want Helena Bonham Carter blah, blah on the show. The HBC.
The HBC. I don't know. I bet she'd be a fun guest.
Sounds like head bitch in charge. I don't know.
What?
That just hit me.
You know what? I bet she is the HBC. Head bitch in charge. Well, and we now have Tevis's new shirt. The HBC sitting across the way. The HBC at Master Control.
Don't fuck with me. I'll delete your ass.
Good Lord. All right. Moving on. So stupid. All right. Today's movie, drawn from the hat by you, Tevis.
Yes.
We are going all the way back to the year 2000. We're recovering from the Y2K scare. We are trying to get a jump on reversing climate change. By we, I mean the normal people, not the powers in charge, because we all can see how well that's gone. As Tevis makes big, exaggerated eyes and drinks his coffee.
We had terrible fashion choices. You remember the jeans.
Which jeans?
The jeans. Was it Jinko?
Oh, yeah, the huge baggy jeans.
Oh, those were gross.
Were they still around in 2000? I thought that was a pre-turn of the century.
I'm pretty sure they were still around.
Okay. They might. Yeah, but they were on the way out.
Possibly.
Although
but they should have never been a thing.
Although the rise in men with platinum blonde tips
that was a thing. Yes.
That was at its height, one might say.
Yeah, and then the stupid necklace, the shell necklace.
Oh, the puka shell necklace?
Ugh, gross.
You'd get those tools walking around with the goggles.
Yeah, cover your drinks, ladies.
Oh, if you actively walked around with goggles on, you definitely roofied people. There's a blanket statement. No. So why have we gone all the way back to the far-flung year of 2000? We are talking about the original X-Men. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. 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 No, banana. I keep waiting for you to stop.
I'm just gonna let you wear yourself out.
I'm tired now.
You have to lay down for 20 minutes,
I don't want to take a nap.
and then you can get up and play if you're not asleep.
I don't want to take a nap. All right. Are you ready?
Sure.
Written. So X-Men, released in 2000, written by Tom DeSanto, Bryan Singer, David Hayter. 3 red flags.
Oh, I see 2 of them.
Directed Bryan Singer. So 3 writers. Writer-director Tom DeSanto. Executive producer as well.
Oh.
So we have writer-producer, writer-director, 3 writers.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. 3 red flags.
Starring Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, and the rest.
I liked almost everybody you just said.
Halle Berry was fine.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, especially given what she had to work with. Both dialogue, action, and amount of screen time.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of where I was going to hit too.
But that's not her fault.
She has some blame in there.
We'll see. Budget made with an estimated $75 million.
This motherfucker banked, didn't it?
Worldwide gross, $296.3 million. So, I mean, enough for, 57 sequels like Fast and the Furious. But when you really think about like how much of its money it made back, not a ton. That's what, 75, 150, 225. So just a little under 4 times its money.
How much of that was merchandise?
Well, if I pull up my merchandise calculator, it roughly came out to eat my ass.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, here, hold on. I'm typing in my calculator. It's roughly...
You got to turn it upside down.
Hell, that's right.
Then it says nom, nom, nom.
And if you turn it upside down, it says nom, 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 boobs. All right.
That's a big number.
Good night, everyone. I'm going to go home now. Awards. Nothing major, but like it obviously this movie didn't get nominated for an Oscar because these movies don't get nominated for an Oscar. But it had 14 wins with an additional 26 nominations. It did get nominated for basically everything else. So, Mr. Tevis, what is your history with 2000's The X-Men?
All right. Growing up, I was a huge X-Men fan. I read a lot of the comics, and I was a huge movie guy. So anytime a comic book movie came out, I was like, oh yeah. And majority of the time, I was disappointed because we got shit like Darkman. It's Liam Neeson.
I got nothing.
Really? Sam Raimi directed it?
I know who those 2 people are. I've never heard of Darkman as movie or otherwise.
Yeah, don't watch it. I've watched it within the last 6 months. It's not good.
Wait, are you saying Darkman not worth the ticket?
Very much so.
Okay.
Then like Superman 3 and 4.
Which one? Okay, when did Christopher Reeves be unable to... Like, when was his accident?
Oh, I don't know. But after 4, he was done.
Okay.
He never did another one after 4. Then you got Supergirl, Swamp Thing, Judge Dredd with Stallone.
Wait, there was a Swamp Thing movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, but that was back in the early '80s, late '80s.
Yeah, but I don't know if I've heard of that either.
But then you had the Batman, the original Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever,
Batman and Robin,
Spawn.
I'm not going to name names, but growing up, there was a person that I frequently associated with who loved Spawn. Loved the movies.
Love the movie.
The movie.
Ugh.
No, there were two, were there not?
I don't know.
Okay. I might be, but this person was always Jake. Got come watching Spawn, watching Short Circuit 1 and 2,
Ugh.
watching the trilogy of. Remember the Three Ninjas?
Oh my God!
Three Ninjas.
And you were friends with this person?
Actually, we're related, but it's a separate issue.
You can cut family out.
Yeah. Gremlins, Goonies.
Oh, okay.
The Crow for a while.
Okay. I'm starting to like this person.
Like, it's just embedded in my mind. There is a cluster of movies that I cannot separate from my childhood, and this person and their immediate circle of friends. They're like, "Oh man, you gotta come over and watch this." I'm like, "This movie sucks." I don't want to watch The Goonies. I do not want to watch Three Ninjas Kick Back or whatever it was.
I think that was it.
I don't want to watch these movies. No, so Spawn is in that collection of me just going, "Oh God." That fat clown. I'm sorry, back to your point.
No, terrible. Yeah, John Leguizamo. But yeah, we had to trudge through this bullshit of movies.
Yeah.
And then I got to see Blade. I was like, oh, this is pretty freaking good.
Blade is in that collection of movies.
Blade is really good.
Blade 1 and 2.
Oh, absolutely.
3, not so much. I blame Ryan Reynolds. But that's just because I don't like Ryan Reynolds.
Blame him for everything.
Basically. Inflation, Ryan Reynolds.
Bastard. Mint Mobile ass.
If I have to watch one more YouTube ad of Mint Mobile, I'm going to go to his house. I'm going to choke his wife out.
Well, that's some violent shit. So yeah, I got to watch Blade, and I was like, okay, this is really good. And then I heard they were doing an X-Men movie. It's like, oh man, okay, let's see. Then I saw the trailer for it. It's like, oh, okay. Who the hell is this guy playing Wolverine?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who he is. And then I went to the theater to watch it. And holy shit, I loved it. This movie was fantastic. And I've had it in my collection ever since. I think I had it on VHS. I cannot remember. But hell, I have it right now.
On VHS?
On Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
No, not on VHS. Not yet. But no, I've loved this movie since it came out. I watched it. I actually showed my daughter this probably a year ago because she's kind of getting into the comic book movies, and
she's more than age appropriate. I mean,
absolutely. Hell, I took her to Deadpool and Wolverine.
That less so. But here's the thing. Okay, as a parent, if you're okay with her watching Deadpool and Wolverine, comparatively speaking, then this is the Wiggles.
Yeah, very much. Very much so. So, yeah, that's my
shout out to the Wiggles. If you want to come on Ticket Price and talk about your favorite movies.
What is your history with the movie X-Men, sir?
Surprisingly slim. I did not see this one in theater. So I was just beginning my discovery of the comics. Not just comics in general. Actually, because I was 10. How's it feel?
Wait, you were 10 when this came out?
Yeah.
I hate you. I was 24.
I know.
Fuck off.
Wait, how are you 24?
Because I'm old.
What was that? You're so old. You were 24.
Hang on, let me adjust my bifocals. Can you pass me my Metamucil?
I was just about to make a Metamucil comment. Would you like a Werther's, young man? I have some hard candies. Got a butterscotch. No, so I was 10, so I was discovering a lot of this in this time period. So I did not actually... I ended up... The first time I watched this was over at a buddy's house. Kind of like Lord of the Rings. Kind of like Fellowship. I got into it because a friend was into it. And so I ended up watching this for the first time with him, thought it was really cool. Then when the second one came out, he and I went to the theater to see that one. So this one I didn't see in theater, just saw it. And I was even talking to my wife. It's like, man, this might be, watching it for the show might be the fourth time, like total, watching it.
Really?
Yeah. No particular reason, just, oh, is what it is.
Okay.
Most I was just watching the X-Men cartoon because that theme song slaps.
Oh yeah, it was awesome when it came out. I remember seeing the trailers for it to build up the commercials for it rather, and I was like, man, this looks really freaking good. And then yeah, when it was released, it's like, holy shit, this is amazing. I love this.
No, the cartoon theme song slaps.
Oh yeah, I agree.
All right, are you ready to get into it?
Sure.
Oh, opening exposition-based narration.
But
two things. So A, opening exposition dump narration. That's lame. However, it's short. That's good. It's narrated by Patrick Stewart.
The HBC.
The head bitch in charge of the Xavier School.
Or the head bitch in a chair.
Oh,
however you want to spin it.
However you want to spin it. What is the matter with you?
God, I'm rolling.
You're rolling. What is the matter with you? He's in a wheelchair, you animal.
I am so sorry, Mr. Stewart. Or
I believe
Xavier.
it's Sir Stewart.
Mr.
Sir
Xavier.
Patrick. Just rub my temple and erase your memories. So, if you gotta do opening narration, don't. But if you have to, keep it short. Have a great voice do it. We have both of those.
Absolutely.
This actually, I mean, it arose by any other name, right? It gives us a blip of exposition through a narration, but it felt, because of its brevity, it felt more like, you know, when you crack open a book and it starts with a quote to just kind of give you a flavor of tone. It felt more like that than, you know, Anthony. Okay. This is better than Thor's Anthony Hopkins exposition dump, because that went on forever. I didn't know I was taking a general histories course over Asgard. It's short, sweet, to the point. And then I knew it was in the movie, but I forgot the movie opens as we see a bunch of Jews herded into a concentration camp by the Nazis.
If there is a way to show that your movie is taking a serious tone, holy shit.
We see the Stars of David pinned to everyone's jackets. They're trotting through the mud. You see the Nazis separating families. People are screaming and crying. And you just go, oof.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this isn't some stupid-ass lame kid riding a skateboard through... What was the fictional Black Adam town? Kahndaq.
That sounds right.
I think
but
that was it.
Like I retained any details of Black Adam. But no, we see the Jewish people, you know, being surrounded, but we see a boy, probably 10, 11, 12-ish.
Sounds about right.
Get pulled away and separated from his parents. The mom's screaming, trying to push back against the guards. You actually see it. I was watching. Did you notice who was restraining her the most?
The father.
Her husband. Like, no, you're going to get all three of us killed.
Yeah, he like tries to cover her mouth.
Yeah.
And she's still... That... Just her pain and agony of losing her son, being separated from her son. I was like, holy shit.
You could feel it.
Yes. And I got to thinking about when we did the review for Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
How at the end of that movie we spent all this time with this girl and then she dies off screen.
Yeah.
I wanted to see her and her mother interact while she passes, and then seeing her mother's pain. That would have been more impactful,
Mm-hmm.
I think, because I've spent 40 seconds with this woman, and I'm like, holy shit, give her back her kid.
Well, okay. We've talked about it before. Like, Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe fails to establish empathy for its characters. And the few characters they do establish it for, they do it in the wrong order, in my opinion, and it comes too late. What quicker, more immediate way to establish empathy for characters? And let's face it, I'm not being mean, but in the context of the story, the mother does not matter. And yet I care more for her than I do for most of the characters in most of the other movies we watched.
I agree.
What quicker and immediate way to develop empathy than, oh God, it's a family being separated by Nazis in a concentration camp. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So somehow the scene continues to escalate as the boy, seeing his mother's anguish, hearing her cries, not wanting to be taken, begins to fight back. And one of the Nazi soldiers tries to restrain him but can't do it, and then another tries to take him. Can't. And at first you're just kind of thinking like, how strong is this kid?
Yeah, because he's like reaching out for his parents,
but you don't really see anything yet.
Mm-mm.
Then a third guard comes, and they have picked him up off the ground, and you can see them in this tug of war-esque trying to pull him. And yet three grown men, three soldiers, have this kid picked up off the ground, and yet for some reason are unable to remove him from the situation. And that's when you start to see the gate that closed and separating him from his parents begin to buckle. It creaks and it groans and it bends and twists, and it's solid steel. And then one of the more experienced soldiers comes over and just knocks the boy out, realizing like, no, we gotta, this is bad. Bonk. You know,
you get that scene of them actually sliding towards the gate in the mud.
So awesome.
Oh, that was great.
Boom, rifle butt, knocks the kid out, and then you see he's unconscious. His grip is released. The way they all, as if they were pulling a really taut rope that went slack, and all of them just collapse into the mud, slip and collapse in a heap. It looks so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is one of those, and then we look and see that, the boy with his outstretched hands was pulling on the gate somehow, and which, as we learned from Patrick Stewart's exposition, all life on this world has originated based on evolution, and it's a very slow process, but sometimes, very rarely, evolution takes mighty leaps forward in a short amount of time. And now we get our first introduction into this idea of mutants. Also, can we talk about how good this scene looks from an effects standpoint? This could have gotten hokey. And we'll point out, because some elements of this movie with their special effects get hokey.
I agree.
This looks fantastic today.
Oh, yes. This could have been in
Infinity War.
This could have been in Schindler's List. Like,
yeah.
It was masterfully done.
There's nothing you can poke a hole through, and yet it's three guys unable to move a boy because he's holding onto a gate with his magnetism powers.
Yeah.
But everything about it is, because let's face it, it's because it's shot well.
Yeah,
and it's
color
done,
choice.
and it's done practically.
Yes.
You don't have a big rubbery looking CGI gate twisting. We see
it's not overdone either. It's
exactly. But when you look at the gate, it's bent and it's twisted and it's mangled, but in believable fashion.
And two, they give you kind of hints of the gate buckling. They don't show the entire thing. It's like you see the top of it and it's kind of going towards the kid, or
yeah. You
I
see
feel
the
like if they-
barbed wire bend and move out of the
Yeah.
way. You see the gate. But then at the end, after he's knocked out and all the soldiers look at the gate, then you're looking at the finished product.
Yeah, the aftermath of it. Yes.
And that's why it works. You see the gate. It's just, yep, it's a gate. Then you get the hints and you're seeing the little pieces move and get altered. And that, because you're doing it in bites, you can make it look really good.
Absolutely.
Then you see the finished product, which is also practical. You just have a damaged gate,
Yeah.
in its place. But it sells it so well.
Yeah, I feel like if they did it today, it would have been a wide shot of the gate just crumbling, like, somebody crumpling up aluminum foil into a ball, and
Yeah.
it would have looked stupid.
Sometimes movies, whether it's budget, whether it's technology, whatever, sometimes movies need to be given constraints to make the filmmakers figure out how to work around / within those constraints to create a better product. The shark didn't work 95% of the time. So in Jaws, they got around it by not really having a shark, but creating the idea of a shark. Right? And it's amazing.
I 100% agree with you.
I heard you mentioned Deadpool and Wolverine. I heard that Ryan Reynolds actually refused a large portion of the proposed budget for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Really?
He said, no, we don't need that much. Because he understood that a lot of the magic from Deadpool 1 came from how creative he and his team had to be to make the original on a shoestring.
I like that.
That adversity fed their creativity to make the magic.
I like that a lot, honestly.
If you go, here's everything, make it happen. Most people are like, well, I don't have to hide anything. Well, no, you still should.
You should. Yes.
So, first taste of mutants and Magneto, and I'm going to get a lot into Magneto, but that's later. Then we meet Rogue. She's in her house talking to her boyfriend. I don't like this iteration. This is my least favorite iteration of Rogue.
How come?
Teenage Rogue irks me.
Why? Because she makes that boy orgasm so bad?
With a single kiss? No, that would be Emma Frost's powers, if I recall.
I don't know. He orgasmed hard.
Again, I don't think that's what.
I think that's what it was. He went into a 3-week coma. It was his first kiss, and he was done.
This is the year 2000's X-Men. There is no teenage orgasms.
I don't know.
There are no teenage.
They were in the bedroom making out, and he was done.
Wait, audience, hold on, Tevis. How many times did you orgasm while making out fully clothed with a girl in your bedroom?
That's his first kiss.
You orgasmed from your first kiss?
No, not me. I'm not saying me. I'm saying this kid.
I think you're projecting. Wait.
I cannot help. I was in a coma for 3 weeks.
Are you, Tevis, are you quick on the draw?
I'm out of coffee is what I am.
Tevis, are you the fastest gun in the West?
Pew.
Oh no, please don't rub my leg.
Don't look me in the eye.
I hope that's the sound you make too. I don't know. No, her main characteristic is whiny. And it irritates me.
Okay, I didn't get that.
No, I don't like Teen Rogue.
Okay.
Like going back to, I like the original X-Men cartoon.
I knew you were going to say you like Cartoon Rogue, but who doesn't like Cartoon Rogue?
Well, hear me out though. And X-Men 97 is also fantastic. It's the same Rogue. But this movie Rogue also then what ended up being the template for the cartoon X-Men Evolution Rogue. X-Men Evolution is fine. It's okay.
I can't say I watched it.
It's not worth it. Because all the X-Men are teenagers.
Oh, I don't
except Wolverine, who's still a grown-ass man teaching history. But he's also like the only grown-ass man on a team of kids. It's weird. Evolution sucks.
It's like working retail.
Right? Oh, God, I'm Wolverine. Oh, man.
But old man Logan.
Basically. And most of the time, my responses are, get away from me, kid, you're bothering me. The hell do you want? I don't know. I don't like Teen Rogue.
Okay. Yeah, she didn't come off as whiny to me, so.
Yeah, okay. But no, she does in fact kiss her boyfriend, sending him into a coma because obviously her power, she cannot touch anyone. Otherwise, she steals part of their life force. Then we see Senator Kelly. He's on the TV. He's talking about because what? No, Jean Grey is answering questions about mutants, and Senator Kelly is the most outspoken and aggressive with his questions about the air quote mutant problem.
Yeah, because she's trying to talk to him about this, how unfair it is with the Mutant Registration Act.
Right, because he proposed the Mutant Registration Act. Me saying, for those of you who aren't fans of the comics or haven't seen the movie, Senator Kelly proposes the Mutant Registration Act, which everyone who is a mutant, which is something you are born as, same as race, color, creed, whatever. If you are a mutant, your identity has to be registered in a national database, monitored by the government. And then once you're on that list, you're essentially surveyed
Oh, yeah, probably.
for the rest of your life.
And not harassed at all.
Yeah,
No. You're free to do whatever you like.
There will be no drawbacks whatsoever from being forced
Nope.
into a government-controlled registry because you're different. Wait, actually, I have it in my notes. Senator Kelly, and this is intentional, like his character in the original comics and also in the movie, he is that mix of Senator McCarthy and a Nazi.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
he engages in full McCarthyism.
And the thing that sucks, I was watching this recently because, obviously, watching it for the show. I was like, this is a 24-year-old movie.
Yeah.
And this guy is still in our government.
Yes.
In some form or fashion.
He would be, yes.
Yeah.
Because our Congress doesn't get elected out like they should because the powers that be are able to entrench themselves and never get voted out of office.
Yeah. Made me a little sad.
Yeah.
That we've not progressed. Anywho, that's my thing.
We haven't.
I
Society hasn't progressed since the great king Gilgamesh overlooked his Sumerian empire.
I don't know. We got debit cards now. I mean,
that might be worse.
That's true. That's true.
Now, my name isn't on a government registry. I just let a government computer tell me how much money I have at any given time. That probably won't go wrong. Anyway, so we're introduced to this idea of how much the world hates and fears mutants, so much so that they feel the need to enact or put up to a congressional vote the Mutant Registration Act. While there, the hearing wraps up, and we see Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, yeah.
In the suit, in the chair. Hear me out. Real quick, the nitpick. They spent $75 million on this movie. They couldn't have given him the iconic hover chair.
No. I think this works better.
It makes him look more frail.
It grounds it a little more.
Sure.
And I think coming off of all that bullshit that I talked about with all the movies before,
yeah,
Spawn, Batman and Robin, they tried to ground this as much as possible.
Yeah, which it was, but at the same time, as a diehard X-Men guy, the hover chair would have been cool.
So did it bother you when they cast Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
Given that I was 10, no.
Because he wasn't the proper height? Because
Oh, no.
I remember this being an issue.
I remember that going, well, he's too tall.
Yeah, there was.
Because Wolverine in comics is 5'3".
Yes.
He's a little guy.
And I actually found, because I remember there was a copy of Wizard magazine.
What the hell is a wizard?
It's a comic book magazine. It kind of breaks down different comics and stuff.
Sure.
But they did a fantasy casting back in '95.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Of the X-Men movie. They wanted Dolph Lundgren to play Colossus.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
Michael Behan to play Cyclops.
I would have liked that.
Jean-Claude Van Damme for Gambit.
Oh, yeah. I'm in.
Oh, Nicole Kidman for Jean Grey.
Sure. That's fine.
Clint Eastwood for Cable.
I could see that. Sure.
Clancy Brown as Sabertooth.
Oh, yeah.
Rutger Hauer as Magneto.
I don't know who that is.
Rutger Hauer, he was the android in Blade Runner.
I never saw Blade Runner because I don't like Harrison Ford.
He was in Batman Begins. He was the head guy of Wayne Enterprises before Lucius Fox took over. Do you remember?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay, hear me out, though. I'm with you on all of these. There is no one on this fantasy list that is a better pick than Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
How about Juggernaut?
Yeah.
They wanted Big Van Vader.
I mean,
I hate Vader. He is terrible.
He's good at what he does.
Then they picked Glenn Danzig for Wolverine.
Glenn Danzig, the songwriter?
Yes.
The
mother. Yeah. No.
Can he act?
It wouldn't have mattered because he's short and he has the mutton chops, and everybody was like, oh, God, yes. And then you know who they wanted as Professor X back in '95?
No. Patrick Stewart?
Sir Patrick Stewart.
And they're right.
And they are right, yes.
But, okay, I don't know who the other guy is, but Ian McKellen.
No, they made a perfect casting choice with these two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, with Hugh Jackman.
So I'm okay.
Because Hugh Jackman can act and Glenn Danzig can barely sing.
It's Glenn Danzig. Okay, hear me out. Let me answer your original question using the MCU. Because I was older when those movies came out and was more in line with thinking about this kind of stuff. Looking back, hiring an unknown for the role, casting an unknown for the role, like Hugh Jackman.
Okay.
I'm actually really cool with that because think about, like, say, the MCU. We're going to do Iron Man. Oh, cool. Who are they going to get to be Tony Stark? Well, we're going to do Robert Downey Jr. That failed drug addict? Isn't he in prison? Well, yes, but he's out and he's clean and we want to give him a second chance. Okay. Blows it away. We want to do Thor. Oh, man, who are they going to... Chris Hemsworth. Who the hell is Chris Hemsworth? Oh, my God, it's Thor.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to do Captain America. Okay, we're going to get Chris Evans. Who the hell is Chris Evans? Well, he was Human Torch and Fantastic Four. Gross. You mean that little pint-sized quippy nerd? Oh my God, I feel the need to salute, right? I'm really okay with this because more often than not, I think the track record will show going the dark horse route, whether it be maybe an established veteran looking for a comeback, like Robert Downey Jr., or an unknown making their break, breaking in and just smashing it out of the park. Or I should say unknowns or whatever. They smash out of the park more often than casting the current big name.
Oh, I agree completely.
Superman. Henry Cavill. Who the hell is Henry Cavill? I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of our older listeners, Christopher Reeve. No. Henry Cavill is Superman.
Henry Cavill is Superman. Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger is Joker. I mean...
Have you watched the Penguin on Max.
No, I don't have. I might have Max. I don't know. Well, Colin Farrell, right?
Man.
Colin Farrell underrated?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. After watching this, when I seen him in The Batman, I was more worried about the Riddler and, Robert Pattinson as Batman. And when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, okay. He was fine. Holy shit, man. Colin Farrell fucking rocks
Yeah.
as the Penguin.
I don't think I've ever seen a performance he gave, and I'm just like, ugh. But
No, I agree.
I think he's underrated. I think Colin Farrell
absolutely
deserves more.
I found myself watching his performance, trying to find him in it, and he's not there. Because I've watched an interview with him, and listening to how he speaks and his mannerisms and stuff, and then watching him as the Penguin, he's gone.
Yeah,
he's not there. It's fantastic.
So
if he can win an Oscar for a TV show, fuck yes.
Well, I mean, he can always get an Academy Award or an Emmy,
something. Yeah, he needs it.
So going to your question, I guess, how do I feel about going the unknown route with Hugh Jackman? I would say, now granted, hindsight is in this, obviously right call, because he's been Wolverine for 24 years.
Absolutely.
At the time of this recording. But no, just going off of like when I was thinking about those casting decisions when I was older, using MCU as my example, I feel comfortable. Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Who the hell is Tom Holland? He's perfect high school Peter Parker.
Absolutely.
So honestly, find the unknowns who are busting their asses, who can act, who are doing a good job, who fit the role, and give them a chance in the limelight. Don't let Tom Holland do an interview because he'll spoil everything and get in trouble, but he can do the role, right?
Yeah.
So that's my answer to your question. Now, if they were to say, hey, we're doing this superhero movie, we're doing the Inhumans, we're casting Black Bolt, whoever, we're going to get this person. It's someone I don't know. Cool, let's see what they can do. I look at it pretty optimistically, if I'm honest. Because more often than not, we're doing Black Adam. Oh, okay. It's The Rock. Gross. Bad call. Absolutely not. Oh, we're going to do Aquaman. Okay, who's Aquaman? We're going to get Jason Momoa. Why? I think Jason Momoa is wildly overrated.
I don't get hung up on, oh, wait a minute. He doesn't or she doesn't look like the character from the book or the comic book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Hugh Jackman. Oh, he's too tall. You can't blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? Like, I didn't give a shit when they cast Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin for the Daredevil, that shitty Daredevil movie.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
If he's a good actor, she's a good actor, and they do the role fine, awesome.
Okay.
I don't care.
You know what? Can we get it? You touched on something. This might be problematic. I don't know.
Okay.
When doing movies based off of a pre-existing IP, like the X-Men.
Okay.
There are certain characters, race, color, creed, nationality, doesn't matter. Professor X could be anybody. Then there are certain characters, like a Magneto, who, when you think about who that character is, their backstory, what they've been through, it wouldn't make sense to say cast a black actor unless you
change it up. Yeah.
Because I'm a black, Jewish, Polish individual from the 30s getting sent to a concert. We're stretching
too much
plausibility here. But take a Kingpin. Kingpin can be black. He can be white. He can be Chinese.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Bruce Wayne could be anybody.
Absolutely.
Superman could be anybody. No problem. But there are certain characters that's like, when you look at what they are.
Yeah. Unless you change it. Unless you make Magneto maybe grew up in the South.
American South during 50s, 60s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now we're on. Yeah, if you tweak it, you can make it work. But just blanket, here's the character.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Captain America is white. Because the US government in the 30s and 40s did not pull a black kid out of the Bronx for their program. It didn't happen.
I'd agree with that.
You see you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to make it work within the confines of that character.
We want to do a modern Captain America. Oh, he could be black.
Yeah.
But like Steve Rogers,
absolutely.
It doesn't make sense because the racism of the American government, that doesn't make sense.
My whole thing was with the people getting all pissed off about the Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah,
when they made her black. Like, Little Mermaid wasn't black. That's not right. Blah blah blah. Like,
the Little Mermaid is a mermaid.
It's a fucking cartoon. Who gives a shit? Like, settle down.
It's not like they made Mulan, Irish.
And I heard the arguments too, like, well, what if they in Lincoln? What if they made him black? How would that make you feel? Or what if they made Martin Luther King white? I'm like, that's an actual person.
Those are real people.
Like, chill out.
Ariel, the mermaid daughter of King Triton. Yeah. No, it doesn't. No.
Yeah. Like, settle down, buddy. You're just upset because he picked up the darker colored crayon to make her dark. You pick up that white fucking crayon right now and fix my mermaid.
Although, I'm not going to lie, most of that blowback I heard was more from the ginger community because the redheads felt like they don't have much representation in Hollywood. So then the idea of Ariel with her, pasty white skin and flaming red hair would give them that, and then they made her black. And so it was like you're taking away one group's representation in favor. I mean, once you get into that, it's a losing game.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be pissed.
I agree. I understand that.
So, but no, Michael Clark Duncan could be Kingpin.
I agree.
Michael Clark Duncan could be Charles Xavier. I don't care. He's already bald.
Yeah, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
World's largest wheelchair.
Forklift.
He's so big.
He is so big.
But again, it doesn't help that I personally cannot separate his real life size to his perceived size as John Coffey.
Yeah, he's not that size.
I think he was.
No, he was not.
But anyway, you get my point. There are some characters, like a Magneto, when you go into their history, or like a Wolverine, if we're honest.
Because he's Canadian.
A Canadian from like the 1700s who is the son of exceedingly wealthy parents. Like, he's basically the son of aristocrats.
I get that. Yeah.
In 1700s Canada, like,
yeah, you'd have to tweak them.
You have to tweak it.
Yeah.
So if you look at backstories for what they are, some characters it doesn't matter, some it does. I'm sorry, I don't think Chris Pratt could be Black Panther. I don't think that works.
Yeah, he was barely Star-Lord.
Or Mario. Anywho, getting back on topic.
Where are we at?
Stewart and McKellen. We get our first meeting of Xavier and Magneto in the whatever government building that hearing was. And they exchange a somewhat tense dialogue about what the future holds for humanity and mutant kind. I just sat and watched and listened.
There's a lot of that in this movie. We're the future, Charles, not them. Great.
It's so good. Oh my God, these two are so good.
Yeah, and you feel like there's a history there that they've been through some shit.
I heard that the way they came about bringing their history to the way they found Words are hard.
Where they found the words.
Right. They
Chemistry?
figured out a way to bring the history of Charles and Magneto to screen, and that was by using their real life history
Oh, yeah. Okay.
as coworkers, essentially,
Yeah.
right? And using their real life history of acting together. And so they could use little inflections and play off of each other, but it wasn't Magneto or Xavier playing off the other. It was the actor playing off his acting friend across the scene from him. So it came off as two old friends who are now rivals. And it feels like it has backstory and weight because they blended it with their real history, so it did.
That's awesome.
I could sit and watch these two just have their back and forths all day.
Absolutely. Me too.
Are these the best parts of this movie?
Close.
Close?
Close.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good parts in this movie.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Are these moments where it's the dialogue between Xavier and Magneto, are these the best acted moments in the movie?
Yes.
And are these the most carefully and well written moments in this movie?
Yes.
Are they the best in this movie?
Close.
All right. So we get that great. Then it jumps to, we see Rogue. She's on the run. She's been outed as a mutant, so she's probably been cast out, and she's up in the Canadians,
The Canadians.
the
Yes.
Canadas, and she's in a bar watching cage fights.
Do you know who that truck driver was?
Which truck driver?
That got her out of her.
Oh,
give her the
I thought you
ride.
were going to take me to whatever city, and he's like, "This is whatever city."
Yeah. You know who he is? He was the original voice for Beast in the cartoon.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
I know. I just learned that today. I was like, that is so cool.
I like that.
Yeah, nice little throw in there.
Yeah.
And once you hear him talk, it's like, okay, I hear it a little bit now.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and check it out now.
This is Laughlin City.
Yeah. Laughlin, yeah. So she's watching cage fights, and there is, at the moment, an undisputed king of the cage.
How badass does he look, Wolverine look, in the cage, in the shadow, with the smoke? And
There's, cigarette and cigar smoke. He's throwing back a beer, leaning up against the cage, like just waiting for the next comer. Bring your money, fool.
Yeah, he looks so badass.
And then the guy promoting the fights is like, "Are you gonna let this guy walk away with your money?" You know,
get the crowd riled up.
Get him riled up. Get some other drunk to come in and challenge him. It's like, "Hey, don't kick him in the balls." I thought this was anything goes. It is, but he takes it personal.
Yeah, and how cool is that? It gives you a little backstory as far as Wolverine has been here for a while. He's been fighting in this cage a lot.
Yeah,
that the announcer knows.
This is how he's made a living for an undetermined amount of time.
Yes.
Then the guy kind of jumps him from behind, gets a start on him, and then Wolverine just wipes the floor with him.
That shot where he hits him in the fist. Fist to fist.
So the patron is throwing a punch, and Wolverine counter punches, but their hands connect. But because Wolverine's skeleton is encased in adamantium, it just murders that guy's hand.
And the sound. Oh, it's so good.
And then, the finishing headbutt. Now, did you notice an issue with this sequence based on how they did it?
No.
Wolverine destroys this guy, because he's Wolverine, but in this instance puts a lot of emphasis on his bones being encased in metal. That makes a lot of sense. Until you think about the beginning of the fight. The guy runs up from behind, kicks Wolverine in the back, no big deal. Wolverine goes up against the cage, he half turns, and the guy rocks him in the chin and jawline area twice. Then Wolverine falls to the mat, and the guy kicks him in the ribs. That guy would have, at that moment, broken his hand and his shin.
Fair point.
If you're going, you see what I'm getting at. They're using his metal encased skeleton as a point, and that's really cool. but they're doing it selectively. That's irritating. If this is how it works, cool, but you got to be really careful to make sure that this is how it works.
And you know what? I never ever noticed that
You
before.
can't turn it off and on.
Yeah, I never noticed that before.
But like, even now, if I just kind of like tap myself in the chin jaw area with my fist, oh, that would have broken that guy's hand. His first punch would have broken his hand, his own hand.
Yeah, that's it. Fuck this movie.
That's it. It's unwatchable.
Yep.
So after the fights, we see Rogue eyeing a tip jar a little too hard, and the bartender, puts it behind the counter. And we see Wolverine getting a beer when the guy who lost to him in that last fight is like, "Hey, you owe me money," or it's like, "No, you lost. Suck it up." It's like, "I know what you are, freak, and I'll expose you." And the guy and Wolverine's like, "I don't give a shit. Get out." So the guy pulls a knife. And so Rogue's like, "Watch out!"
You sounded just like her.
Drink this wine. I whine. Woo! And that's when we get our first pull of the claws.
These things looked fantastic.
They do look great.
I see the piercing of the knuckle. Oh,
yeah,
it's so good.
And so he's got his claws up against one guy's throat. That's when the bartender comes out, puts a shotgun barrel behind Wolverine's skull. He's like, "Get out of my bar, freak!" And then, quick as lightning, Wolverine pulls the other claws out and cuts the shotgun in half. I'm like, oh, so cool.
He does something, and I never even thought of it before until I saw this. Like, I never seen it in the comics. I never saw it in the cartoon. Like, he can control them individually.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really, really cool.
You know what? I'm trying to think about it. Yeah, you know what? I don't think we see independent control in.
Nah, not that I'm aware of.
But it works.
It works fantastic.
There's nothing about that you're like, that's not how it works. Meh. Actually, I bet you money somebody watched going, he doesn't do that. Meh.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
But Logan is forced to leave. Rogue, needing a ride, sneaks herself into his trailer and hides under a tarp. While driving, Logan realizes something is amiss and discovers Rogue, kicks her out on the side of the road, drives away. But he's an angry jerk with a heart.
I love the line when he kicks her out.
I saved your life. No, you didn't.
And she goes, "Where am I supposed to go?" He goes, "I don't know. You don't know or you don't care." He's like, "Pick one."
Pick one.
And then I'm like, oh, that's such a good line.
And his delivery.
Yeah.
Well, where am I supposed to go? I don't know. You don't know, you don't care. Pick one.
Great.
I saved your life. No, you didn't. I read something too, again, doing my research on this. I guess Hugh Jackman did an interview discussing how he discovered, or the way he discovered to get into the mindset of Logan. And it was during the filming of this. And now, anytime he's Wolverine, he does the same ritual almost to get him in the mind of Wolverine. He and his wife, are, I guess he's getting ready for the role. He and his wife are somewhere. She's still asleep, but he's awake, exercises, goes to take a shower, does not realize the place they're at doesn't have hot water.
Oh.
Until he turns the shower on. And he's hit with ice cold water. But he doesn't want to wake his wife up, who's still sleeping. So he wants to scream, but is holding it in. And then he realized that's Wolverine at all times. Wanting to scream, but holding it in. So now,
it's fantastic.
When he plays Wolverine to get in the mindset, to get ready, he takes an ice cold shower and doesn't, like the rest of us.
Like Bill Murray in Groundhog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, what's wrong with the hot water? Oh, we wouldn't have any today.
The pipes are frozen or whatever she says.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so that's how he discovered to get in that that mindset of just like, leave me alone before I freak out.
That is amazing. I love that.
So, Wolverine, at the end of the day, has a good heart. Let's ride with him. We get some banter. They grow as characters and as friends.
I believe this friendship.
You know what I do too? It's something like angsty teen and her fun drunk uncle.
Rick and Morty. Is that what you're talking about?
If that's what Ricky, I've never seen Rick and Morty
Me
because I can't think of the name of the creator.
It's like Doc and Marty.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Then a tree falls and Wolverine is thrown from his vehicle.
Half a mile down the road.
He went horde.
Yes, but how cool was that with him sliding?
Oh, it looks
in
great.
The snow.
Yeah,
to a stop. That was fantastic.
Great shot. Sabertooth shows up. There's kind of a fight, but Sabertooth kind of kicks Wolverine's ass with a big tree branch.
A little bit.
But then he's defeated by the X-Men because Storm and Cyclops show up. They rescue Rogue, who's trapped in the truck, and the propane.
I got the propane on me. Dang.
It's about to explode like that one episode of King of the Hill. I killed Luann's boyfriend.
Never seen King of the Hill. No idea what you're talking about.
But they save her too, and they take them both to the X Mansion. Enter the X Mansion. Wolverine is a tense fellow.
What are you talking about?
As Jean Grey is trying to help his medical processes along and puts a needle in him, and then he wakes up and grabs her by the throat, and then like throttles her a little, and then throws her down, and then like starts running through the bowels of the mansion shirtless and no shoes like a crazy person.
How different does he look from 2020 or 2000 to 2024?
Are you talking about how young he looks, or are you talking about his physique?
His physique.
So he mentions he has mentioned how by the time he got the call for the Wolverine casting, he didn't have time to get into the shape he wanted to be in for it. But like Hugh Jackman's a bit of a health nut, so he
still looks better than I ever have in my entire life.
He looks fantastic, but it's a realistic, like you can watch X-Men and see Hugh Jackman's physique as Wolverine and go, I could get there.
Yeah, he kind of has almost like a dad bod, kind of.
Oh no, disagree. No, I disagree with that.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
He still has abs.
A little bit. Okay, you got a point.
But he doesn't look like he does in the Wolverine, the one where he goes to Japan and he's shirtless 75% of the time.
Absolutely not.
And he's just the definition of marble chiseled.
Looks like a washboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao. I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was. I don't know. You know what I appreciate about Hugh Jackman? I'm not going to say he does or doesn't supplement. I don't know. But if he does, big if, it's never been particularly apparent.
He's not overly huge.
He's not The Rock. He's not John Cena. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because you were allowed to juice in bodybuilding. Or at least in Schwarzenegger's day you were.
Yeah.
And like Lou Ferrigno. You look at him and you go, man, that guy is put together. But it looks healthy.
It does look healthy.
So, and again, it looks achievable. You're not looking at Dwayne Johnson going, well, no, I'm never going to look like that because I don't want to put shark hormones in my butt.
In the cheek or in the...
Oh, I don't know how he does it.
With a shark?
He just crams entire Makos in his rectum.
I hear that's the quickest way.
It absorbs the fastest.
Yeah.
Then it's pooping out the bones that are left over that gets you. But think about it. Like when you think it, like you just look at me like he looks healthy. It's achievable. It looks good.
Oh yeah, no, he looks fantastic.
This is the kind of Hollywood ripped I would like to see more of.
I agree.
Because you're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Now it seems like everybody who's in any comic book movie at all has to get ripped.
Even the
no
characters,
matter what.
even the characters, it doesn't make sense. Why is Paul Rudd in the shape he's in to be Ant-Man?
I know the guy who's playing Jimmy Olsen has to bulk up. I'm like, why? You're a nerdy little reporter, dude. What the hell are you doing?
Why is Batman getting bigger? Batman's always been a quick, agile martial artist, and now it's getting to the point he bench presses pickup trucks.
Well, it's Robert Pattinson, so
I don't know what that means.
He's tall, slender, skinny.
Okay.
He's not overly big.
Yeah, but wait, because have you seen not Ultimate, what is the new iteration of Batman
Oh, I'm not sure.
with the big rectangle bat symbol on his chest that looks dumb as hell?
Oh no,
and they're like,
know what you're
and they're like,
talking
oh
about.
no, it's not dumb because it doubles as an axe head because Batman wields a battle axe. I'm like, that makes it worse.
No.
But you look at him and he's built like Kingpin,
Yeah, looks like the Jack Reacher.
but not Tom Cruise Jack
No,
Reacher.
It was Alan Richardson? Rickton?
I don't know.
remember. He's fantastic as
Sure.
Jack Reacher. So
But-
I would be all right with seeing him as Batman.
Well, you get my, like, I'm telling you, give it time. Batman's going to keep getting bigger too. Everyone's
agree.
just a roided meathead. I'm going, but wait, why does oh damn, why does was it Martin Sheen, who plays
Martin
no, not
Sheen?
Martin Sheen. Why is Michael Douglas
Michael Douglas.
Why is Michael Douglas ripped? He's playing a 75-year-old retired Ant-Man and he's still
Looks like Tom Hardy as Bane.
I don't understand.
Don't make me sick my ants on you.
My God, look at Alfred. Why is Alfred a beefcake? Not every character needs to be a roid monster.
Oh, hell. I love it.
So no, I really appreciate Wolverine and Hugh Jackman and his healthy physique.
Although his hair,
It's spot on.
yeah, but you know the screenshot I sent you.
Of B. Arthur?
Him getting in the elevator with his hairdo in the elevator. Yeah, he looks exactly like B. Arthur as Maud
That's true.
when he steals that hoodie.
All right, can we move on?
Yes, we can.
So Wolverine does find a hoodie, and he finds those black leather X-Men suits. I hate that.
What, the X-Men suits?
I've always hated these black leather X-Men suits.
Do you know why they went with the black leather?
The Matrix?
The Matrix.
From the year. So what? This came out
Absolutely.
2000. Matrix came out in 1999. This was still in the era where everyone in some form or fashion were writing the Matrix's trench coat tales.
Yeah, because that's why the Matrix was popular. Was because they wore black leather.
Yeah, black leather.
Yeah.
Although that's why we all liked Carrie Ann Moss more.
I agree.
And Lawrence Fishburne, but I don't know. But he sees them, and I'm like, oh, I hate that. And it makes it worse because they quip later in the movie. Well, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? Yes!
Yeah, I don't think that would have worked at all in this movie.
They wouldn't have done it right.
No, they wouldn't have.
But no, I don't know, though. Comic accurate outfits for all the characters? Yeah, I would have preferred that. Storm in her white, Cyclops in his blue, Wolverine in his yellow. Yeah, that's what I want.
I do still would love to see the X-Men in their original getup.
Yeah.
I think we need that in the MCU now.
I agree.
And there's a way to do it now with the multiverse. Just like they did with Deadpool and Wolverine. They gave Wolverine his iconic yellow.
And it looked great.
It did.
And you know what? Because I know Halle Berry wanted to do it, and I don't ever think it really panned out. But she really wanted to be Mohawk Storm.
I'd be all right with
And
that.
I'm like, cool, be Mohawk Storm. That's fine. Just like,
It'd have been better than that terrible ass wig she had on in this.
it's so long.
It's long. It's terrible. It looks like they bought it out of the Spirit Halloween store.
So trying to keep this slow-moving train to nowhere going. we know. So Wolverine is now hearing voices. It sounds like people are looking for him, maybe chasing him, but then he's hearing whispers of like, "This way, man, follow me." And then doors are opening for him to escape. And as he follows this, it all leads to Xavier's office. And then Xavier finishes the physics class he's teaching with his students. They leave, and then he reveals that he was the one putting all the whispers and noises in Wolverine's head. It's awesome, but at the same time, kind of messed up that Xavier is playing on Wolverine's paranoia and confusion to simultaneously play pursuer and savior at the same time in his head.
I think it's great.
I mean, no, it's awesome,
Yeah,
but
I love it.
you're also just like, God damn. If you think about it too hard, it's a little messed up.
I love how calm Xavier is too. He's like, "Oh, hello there. Would you like some breakfast?"
Yeah. What, Xavier? He don't give a shit about nothing.
No.
Especially Patrick Stewart Xavier. He's just like, "Good morning, Logan." Oh,
Yeah.
well, hello. So he meets Xavier. We get a tour of the school. We learn Rogue's okay.
It's more exposition,
Lots more exposition.
but it's delivered through Patrick Stewart's character.
Yeah, but this is also done still better than, say, narration, because it's done as one character explaining something to the character who's representing the audience, the one who doesn't know everything.
Absolutely.
As we then also get a tour of the mansion and seeing all the cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
It works.
Oh yeah. Plus, I would listen to Patrick Stewart give me a tour of my own home.
And here in this den of degradation and sadness, I'm like, yeah, it is. This place sucks.
You're like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome to hear from you. Thank you."
Hope blossoms. Oh, hope does blossom. I'm blossoming. But we learn Rogue's cool. She's fine. She's become a student. And we're introduced to the X-Men, the mansion, more about mutants, etc. Then Senator Kelly is abducted.
I really like this scene
Of him getting in his helicopter.
with Mystique changing.
Oh, yeah.
In the background, it's out of focus, and him on the phone talking to another senator, possibly
Or
acting
whoever.
like
Yeah,
he
it
gives a
seems-
shit about weapons in schools, and
Yeah.
you don't give a fuck,
No.
But no, I like this scene a lot,
Ugh.
and I didn't know for sure if the effects would hold up. They were a little but they
Honestly,
held up.
Excuse me. I think they held up as long as you don't look at Mystique's hairline. Speaking of bad wigs,
I agree.
in the wig with the blue body makeup and all that looks fine, but when you watch the wig during the transformation scenes, it's not the best. So just don't look at that.
Yeah, and it's fairly quick.
And
too,
last
so.
I checked, my television doesn't have an eye tracker attached to it, so I'll look wherever the hell I want to look. You know what? For all the complaints this movie got about the X-Men not being in their costumes, there was no complaint about Mystique not being in her outfit.
Mystique had an outfit?
Not in this movie. She had vagina.
What is
What
is it that took like 9 hours to put all that makeup
Yeah,
on?
it's some insane.
I heard something. Where did I hear it? Like she couldn't like get on a plane or eat, change her diet too drastic because it would have changed her body's makeup and the shit wouldn't have stuck as well.
Oh, like throughout, while wearing
filming
it.
and while wearing it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So she was like basically locked in a dungeon and like, no, you eat carrots and coconut water. That's all you get.
Now she was a supermodel.
I think so.
So she was used to being treated like that. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying she was used to living in these sorts of conditions.
They sometimes give me an almond. No.
Only if you're good.
No almond for you.
It's only on that maybe before the last hour of shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see Kelly's abducted. Then we get more Rogue and Wolverine. Wolverine's having a nightmare. This seems like a common occurrence. Rogue hears him, goes to wake him up. He wakes up and stabs her through the chest. And in my notes, mind your business, bitch.
Stay out of my room. I mean,
how do I put this? Although, to be fair, I have never had to wake someone up from some sort of PTSD-based nightmare. Although I have been woken up from several. But the people waking me up are always across the room.
Throwing stuff at you?
Because they're afraid I'll punch them. They're afraid I'm going to wake up swinging. I don't have retractable 2-foot metal claws in each hand. Keep your distance. Man, we can edit this out because it doesn't pertain to anything. My doctor gave me some PTSD medicine. He and my therapist, diagnosed me. Came to an agreement. They gave me some medicine that they give to war vets that all it does is suppress dreams.
Really?
Whole Freddy Krueger level shit. And it's like you cannot take more than like 10 milligrams, whatever it is, but like 10 milligrams of it. Otherwise, it gets real bad, apparently.
Your dreams get real bad?
No, I think your body you're not supposed to take more than 10 milligrams of this stuff. So it's like I start out at 2, and they're like, if you keep having your nightmares, just take more up to 10. You'll be fine. They'll go away. They never went away.
It just got worse?
No, they just didn't go away. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, no, this doesn't work. And I remember my doctor looked at me and he goes, it didn't work. I went, well, now I feel like I'm in trouble. So yes, they do make Freddy Krueger-like dream suppressants.
Okay.
That are moderately effective, I guess.
Good to know.
No, I was taking max dosage like the 3rd day. I didn't do anything.
That's concerning.
Yeah, I have weird reactions to medicines. Uppers make me sleepy. Downers make me sleepy. I can't have anything penicillin related. If it ends in cillin, I'm allergic to it. Can't have it. So I try really hard not to get gonorrhea.
That's a good goal.
Right.
We all got to have goals.
What's your goal? Not get gonorrhea.
It's written on my goal board upstairs.
Baby steps, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had to work up the, don't get crabs. Don't get, and I worked my way up. So no, I've always just had the weirdest reactions to medicine. So I'm not terribly surprised this didn't work. I was more surprised that something exists. And it's like, no, this is what it does.
Not for you.
No. Nope. So Freddy comes at me. I guess he just comes at me and I'll fight him like I fight everyone else.
Turns you into a little roach and
Dick
squishes
out.
you in a roach motel.
Yeah. I'll be a roach with a huge hard on.
Because you're like, oh my God, it's Freddy Krueger.
I fight fully erect.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got an extra weapon.
I prey on their fears. You square up to a guy who drops trow and has a full erection, you're gonna think twice about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna run the hell away.
Exactly. You prey on their fears. Like my man Brock Sampson. Now, where are we? Rogue steals Wolverine's powers, heals himself, puts him in a mini coma.
Coma. Another coma.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's really not determined how long he's out.
Nope, but we got another coma.
Senator Kelly is turned into a mutant through some Magneto-based MacGuffin.
Yeah, it's not really explained how it, and I don't think it really needs to be.
It's a machine. It works off his magnetism powers. Cool.
Yeah. It's very comic bookish.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it fits it's a comic book secret weapon in a comic book movie. It works.
Yeah.
You don't really need to spend a ton of time explaining it.
Nope.
But what it does is it alters human DNA to make them mutants. Kelly becomes a mutant. And he becomes like a jellyfish man.
Yeah.
I don't really know what his power
Dying.
his power is exploding in a pool of water. We're not to him dying, but like his body has a gelatinous property, and he's able to just squeeze out through the bars. Then he falls in the ocean, but he just like loses all of his clothes for reasons and takes on like a translucent blob form, and he's able to swim really well. But not like Michael Phelps swimming, more just like I'm a gelatinous mass moving through the water.
Yeah, I never really cared for this.
Because it's odd or
Yeah, it was just, I don't know,
ill-defined.
kind of just there.
Yeah. Well, he becomes like a jellyfish man. Mystique, under the guise, in the form of one of the students, convinces Rogue to leave because everyone hates her for what she did to Wolverine. They're all afraid of her. She leaves. The X-Men find out she leaves, and they go to retrieve her. And Logan's like, well, I'm just going to go get her. And they're like, well, no, you can't leave because Magneto's looking for you. It's too dangerous. So Wolverine's like, well, I'm going to brood in the corner. Cyclops and Storm immediately head for the garage to go get Rogue. And we see them leave. And as they're leaving, we see Wolverine stay. But then in the next scene, we see Storm and Cyclops go to the garage to get in the car to get Rogue. And then Cyclops goes, where's my motorcycle? And then we cut to Wolverine riding Cyclops' motorcycle that he stole to get Rogue. How in the hell did Wolverine get there first and get there first with enough time to have stolen a motorcycle and be off the mansion grounds?
It's Wolverine.
It's not an answer.
Yes, it is.
How did he not pass them in the hallways? If he was appropriate height, he could have just like scuttled by, but they're looking up at something and just missed him completely, right?
That sounds fair.
How did he get there first?
Plot.
So anyway, so Logan makes it to the train station, finds Rogue. They have a little heart-to-heart. It's very touching.
I like them talking about this moment. Yeah. I like this.
Their connection, Wolverine and Rogue's relationship as like troubled girl and fun drunk uncle who does look out for her. He's just not very good at it, but he tries. It works. It's believable. I wouldn't mind Hugh Jackman not staring so longingly into this young teenager's eyes, but separate issue. Cyclops and Storm get there, come to find out Sabertooth and Toad are there, and a scuffle ensues. And this is when we find out that Sabertooth is a sex pest.
What are you talking about?
Sex pest Sabertooth. It's in my notes. Sabertooth is a sex pest.
Oh, you mean the scream for me.
He comes up behind Rogue, comes up behind Storm, grabs her by the throat, forces her against the glass ticket booth, and he's like, and then like rubbing a claw down her cheek, scream for me. And I'm like, oh, she about to be taken.
Yeah, a little
forcefully.
A little icky.
It's pretty gross. It's not good.
Bryan Singer wrote that line.
Oh, did he get in trouble for something I'm not aware of?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know about Bryan Singer?
I don't keep track of this stuff.
Yeah, he was apparently notorious for showing up on the set extremely late, being extremely aggressive to everybody, and being sexually inappropriate to some of the younger castmates. So
what you're telling me is, in his personal experience, he didn't write this line. He has used that line.
More than likely, that is coming from past experiences.
Well, that's horrifying.
Yes.
And makes my note all the more accurate. Sex pest.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons why he is kind of been blacklisted.
Oh, I thought it was X-Men Last Stand.
No, that was Brett Ratner.
Oh, was that? That was
Ratner.
Okay, so Singer got in trouble after X2 then.
Correct.
Although, didn't Ratner get in trouble?
I think he had something too, but I'm not 100% sure.
Which canceled
Probably.
Rush Hour 4, damn it.
Probably just for the quality of his movies.
He got canceled because of Rush Hour 3. No, I think I think there's something gross going on.
We'll cover the rat when we hit X3.
A rat. All right. Fight breaks out. Toad whips. Toad licks Cyclops' visor off, and Cyclops blows the roof of. Now, Cyclops' untethered optic blast ripping the roof off the train station was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
I like Mystique in this movie. She's smart, she's cunning, she's capable. You know, she'll outthink you, she'll outplan you, she'll just outfight you. Sabertooth is a bitch and a failure.
Oh, yeah. Through everything he does.
He's a bumbling doofus
Absolutely.
who can't do anything.
Yeah, he fails every time.
Against everyone.
Absolutely.
And then Toad is oddly competent. Like, for the one that you think should be the least competent, he's arguably the most competent. And when you look at him as a person and his power set, I don't know why.
Yeah,
Cyclops, and I'm not a huge Cyclops fan, but I like Cyclops well enough. Cyclops should have whipped his monkey ass. Excuse me, his amphibian ass.
Thank you. I'm sorry. This movie does Cyclops dirty.
It does him way dirty.
He's not Cyclops. He's not Cyclops at all.
He is guy with optic blasts.
Exactly. He's not the leader that Cyclops is. He's not the badass that Cyclops is.
He's not even the tactician Cyclops.
No, he's just
guy
with Oakley.
These are the new
Oakley
brand visors. He really is. Here's plain Wonder Bread with visor.
Exactly.
Yeah, Cyclops is done dirty. Although so is Storm and Jean Grey, just not quite as egregiously.
Storm definitely.
Done dirty.
She loses a fight to the fucking Toad.
That's what I'm saying. Storm is a literal goddess.
Yeah. And yeah, Jean Grey is, but she is still kind of learning.
Right.
So I'll give.
But I think they're all still kind of learning. I think that's the trade-off, I guess, because if this movie's Brotherhood was up against the actual X-Men versions of these characters, there wouldn't have been a movie.
Oh, absolutely not.
Anywho, we've done really good about not going on tangents about accuracy to comic X-Men.
No, we haven't.
We haven't?
Yes, we have.
We have?
No, we haven't.
Moving on. Not even Sabertooth. Toad beats Cyclops' Storm.
Yes.
Sabertooth is a creep and then gets hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And then Toad finishes them off.
Yeah, Toad finishes the whole deal.
Now.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Sabertooth.
Sex fest.
Picks up Storm, slams her against the glass.
Yes.
Toad licks Cyclops' eyes.
Don't word it like that, but I'm with you.
We
yes.
Get the ceiling blasted off. So Storm or Cyclops is out of the picture for a moment.
Yeah, because he's got to close his eyes.
Got to keep his eyes closed. Storm shoots lightning, shoots Sabertooth through the building.
Yeah.
Toad jumps out. It's like, quit joking around, and flies off.
Yeah. Jumps away.
Jumps away. Where is Storm? Why is she nowhere to be found?
You mean Jean Grey?
No, Jean Grey's back at the.
Oh, you mean why didn't Storm pursue?
Yeah, why didn't Storm do anything?
Maybe she was getting Cyclops' visors. I don't know. Maybe she was putting stitches in the back of her head from where her head cracked that glass. Maybe she was filing out a report with the police to get Sabertooth's name put on a list. And I'm not talking the Mutant Registration Act.
Maybe she was adjusting her wig. I don't know. I just find it odd that Magneto and Sabertooth and Toad are able to walk away with Rogue.
Yeah.
And I mean, we understand Wolverine's incapacitated because of that kick-ass train scene.
See, I want to talk about the train
Yeah.
sequence, but
Scott is out because he can't see.
he's gone full Velma.
Yeah. And
Jinkies! She's looking around for her glasses.
he's on the
And then-
floor
and then-
of the train
And
station.
then he's on his hands and knees looking for his glasses. And he's like, oh, here it is. It's Sabertooth's foot, obviously, because he's the big monster.
Storm gets slammed up against some glass, and her head is slightly grazed that poor window.
Night of the Living Dead levels
Jesus.
of grazed. No, she hit harder than Barbara's brother.
But I don't know. I don't think that should have taken her out. She was able to conjure up the power to bring down the lightning.
Yeah.
After that, she was just spent.
Maybe.
I don't like it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Anyway,
I didn't make the movie.
I just now thought of this.
Because if
like,
I
wait a
did,
minute.
the X-Men would have better attire.
Fair point. Okay, train scene.
Wolverine and Rogue are on the train. They've had their heart-to-heart. The train stops. And that's when Wolverine's like, we need to get the hell out of here. And then the train car just kind of like rips open.
This was fantastic.
And Magneto just struts.
Hovers in through the smoke and the lights. Oh, he looks so cool.
Wolverine goes claws out and then is frozen in place. And Magneto hits him with, tell me, that remarkable metal doesn't run through your entire body, does it? And then just lifts him into the air and
Splits his claws a little bit. So
Yeah.
it hurts him even more.
and then throws him back. And then Rogue goes to run and he's just like, freaking young people. Magneto's like, freaking youths. And then,
I thought of you.
I did too. I was watching, I just went, oh man, I'm Magneto now. I used to be Wolverine, now I'm so old, I'm just Magneto. And then he syringes her and renders her unconscious, and Toad puts her in a body bag, a literal body bag, and takes her.
Yeah.
Then we get the standoff with the police.
So
This
cool.
is cool.
This is cool. I did have one issue with it, but I'll get there.
Okay.
But this is a fantastic scene.
All the police are like stopping Magneto, who on Earth is basically a god. It's just like, no. Flips some cars. People are freaking out. And that's when Sabertooth grabs him by the throat. We learn Xavier is there and has taken over the minds of Sabertooth and Toad. And I can't imagine that was a difficult task.
No.
Sabertooth's like, let him go. Magneto's like, here's how this is going to work. You're going to let me go or you're going to kill me. That's where we're at. And I know you're not going to kill me. So just stop. Let's quit wasting everyone's time. Let's all just go home. Xavier doesn't. So Magneto goes, okay, let's up the stakes. Steals all the guns from the police with his powers and then turns the guns on the police.
You Homo sapiens and your guns.
Yeah.
I love that line.
One gun goes off, but Magneto has also caught the bullet, and it's just spinning in place, slowly burrowing into that one officer's in between his eyes. It's slowly burrowing into his head
That's the issue I had.
because he doesn't have a mark.
No, it's because he doesn't take a step back.
He doesn't just move.
He's just back up a little bit. He's like screaming into the camera. I'm like, dude, use your neck and just go like that, like back up a little bit. Whatever.
Just
Was he gonna have like Magneto chase him with the bullet if he backed up too far?
well, we've already got Velma Cyclops,
Like
so then
Benny Hill.
So then Shaggy police officer runs through a door and the bullet chases him. And then Shaggy comes out a completely unconnected door and the bullet cheats. And then they come out and Shaggy's got a wheelbarrowing the bullet in it, right? And then it just I love that gag. I don't know why. I
do
love
too.
that gag. It never gets old to me.
That was
But
my only issue. It was a very minor issue.
yeah. Xavier relents and they all go home. So Senator Kelly dies, turns into a blob of water, and Storm is scarred for life.
Did you get hints of her trying to do that African accent.
Yes, because
And-
Storm is Egyptian,
yeah,
but Halle Berry does attempt an accent and pulls it off about as well as Sylvester Stallone.
it's not good.
It's not.
It came off
Wait.
to me as like just bad acting, like the way she's reading the lines.
Would you like to hand out a little trophy to Halle Berry?
You know what? Yes.
Billy.
The award Halle Berry.
Quit calling her Holly. She's
No,
never going to come on the
that was
show.
my
and-
accent. That was
She's
my
never
accent
going to come
coming
on the
through.
show and talk about Catwoman with
Halle
us.
Berry.
Don't do that.
Getting the Charlie Sheen award for worst accent. Yeah, it just came off as just a bad actress. Like,
And she can't maintain it the whole time.
no. Like, there's a line that she says when they're looking at Logan's x-rays,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, how could he have survived a procedure like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, God. Can
She's-
you read it just verbatim again, please? For the love of God, make it yours.
Yeah, there comes a point in time where either the actor, the director, everyone involved just needs to go, you know what, this isn't working, drop it.
Drop it.
Just drop it.
And just say it. Don't read it.
You act. Don't worry about accents. Not
Absolutely.
everyone is Gary Oldman.
Nope.
And that's not a put down.
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
Sometimes you just move on.
Yeah, I've liked Halle Berry in other things, not this.
Man, watching this, I forgot how big of a crush I had on Halle Berry in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like
She does a lot of things for me.
Boomerang. Oh, yeah. This?
Catwoman.
No. Nah.
Man.
You actually watch Catwoman?
No.
No.
Well, I like the pictures of it. Black leather and whips and
I watch
skin.
it on
and
mute.
I like showing skin, tight black leather, and whips.
Okay.
I would say I'm having a sexual awakening, but no, this was... No, I had just forgotten. I was like, man, I forgot how much of a crush I had on Halle Berry at one point in time.
Yeah, no, not me. Not for me.
Well, if you're playing bingo, you're going to see there's more than likely a square on there that says Tevis is racist. Go ahead and just...
Jesus Christ.
Just go and check mark. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not kidding.
Kind of kidding.
Oh. So, okay. Xavier's poisoned. He's out. Coma 3.
This fucking movie.
Well-
This has more comas than the Awakenings movie with Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, it was about
Comas?
comas. And
Okay.
Robin Williams was the doctor that brought these people out of comas.
Cool.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Sure. So, Xavier's poisoned. Rogue is kidnapped. Magneto and his goons are going to turn all the world leaders into mutants, except their device doesn't work and it just kills them. It turns them to mutants for like a day, and then they just explode, as we learned with Senator Kelly. So the X-Men suit up and they go to take care of business, and I have once again have in my notes, I hate these black suits. I hate it.
Yeah,
They
I didn't have a
look-
problem with it.
No, they look awful. They look uncomfortable. I don't like it.
Very similar to the Ultimate X-Men comics that came out in
Yeah.
99, 2000.
I didn't like those either.
You didn't like them either, huh?
Not
Okay.
the outfits. There's nothing. Never mind. I'm not getting into it. So they go and take the jet to Liberty Island. They're gonna have their final showdown. And I noticed it throughout the movie, but it's at this point I really noticed it with the dialogue. There are a lot of really abrupt cuts. Like if these edits were any tighter, they would be cutting off the actors' words.
Okay.
There
yeah,
are a
that's
lot
fair.
of like quippy jokes made that don't get time to breathe, and boom, they're just cut immediately. It's like quip, cut, next. You don't get, there's no time to like process or enjoy the quip if you're so inclined to enjoy quips, which I'm not. Or there are moments where it almost seems like a comment is said, but it's said in a way where they're anticipating a response. Like there was more dialogue, but then it just cuts and it's really abrupt.
Okay, now that you bring that up, yeah.
I don't know. I just noticed. I was like, oh, they're talking. Oh, cut. Okay, I thought we were talking. Okay, it's like talking to my mother.
But that,
I tried to say something and then boom, cut. Just cut off right there at the knees.
yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but that didn't bother me really so much.
No, I mean it wasn't like a huge bother. It was just kind of it jarred me. I was jarred. Toad shows up, kicks everyone's ass.
Oh yeah, he squashes those guards like he's a Mario brother.
Oh, literally. No, I mean, oh, well, yeah, there was that. But I mean, so Mystique shows up as Wolverine. They fight off.
Oh, okay.
Then Toad shows up
Yeah.
and single-handedly ass whips Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey. Toad could not whip wet toilet paper. He couldn't whip cream with an outboard motor. And yet Toad single-handedly dispatches all three of them.
Before we get to that,
Yes.
I had a major issue
Okay.
with Mystique. When the X-Men first arrive into the lobby, let's say.
The museum lobby.
The museum, yeah. She's disguised as a statue of the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
Is that how her power works?
I don't know.
I don't know. It seemed weird to me. It was almost like prop hunt in Call of Duty. I was like, what?
Does anyone still play prop hunt?
I don't know. But I was like, that's weird to me. I wish they would have established it one time at least prior to this.
That she can turn into inanimate objects?
Yeah.
I don't remember that I don't remember that recliner. I'm just gonna sit down on it.
Ow. Oh shit. No, I don't know. It
Get
just
off me, fat ass.
it kind of bothered me. Like, can she just transform into like a pallet? leaning up against the wall?
Oh, look at this can of soda. Yeah, how small can she get?
Yeah.
Or how big can she get?
I don't know.
Could she turn into a full-size Statue of Liberty and fight the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
Yeah, see, I don't know. Nitpick, I know. It just kind of bothers
It's a fair point, though, because again, going to the comics, I thought she could turn into people, not stuff.
That's my understanding, too.
And then, because then there was the character Morph. He could take it a step farther because he could also turn into animals.
Oh, okay.
But he still didn't just turn into drywall.
Yeah. See, and I don't care if that's the way they want to take the character, but establish it prior to this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of bothered me. Anyway.
No, what bothered me is Toad 1v3ing Cyclops, Storm, and Jean Grey. In no universe, Bryan Singer, does this happen. But I do have in my notes, Toad's wire is showing.
Oh, was it? I didn't notice that.
He comes down from the ceiling. I think he just did his stupid spinny drop kick to someone. That's like his one move. I don't know. He licks people and does a drop kick. I don't know. But he comes down and does like a superhero landing and just attached to his waistband, clear as day, is this huge black cord.
That's funny. Because I did notice too when Wolverine or when Magneto and Sabertooth are talking for the first time in the lair.
Yeah.
And Sabertooth has Wolverine's necklace on. And Magneto pulls it towards him. You can see like the fishing line.
Yeah.
Pull the necklace towards Magneto.
So then riddle me this. It was done practically. Why is Sabertooth's reaction 3 seconds too late?
Acting.
Yeah. If that's what you want to call it. I feel like you're being a little liberal with the term acting.
Well, he's a former professional wrestler. What are you going to do?
Half of that job is acting.
Yeah, but he wasn't a very good professional wrestler. So what are you
Shots
do?
fired. Just gonna move on. I don't even want to talk about Storm finishing off Toad.
Okay, cool. How awesome is this fight between Logan and Mystique?
This fight is awesome.
I love this
I
fight.
liked it when it was Wolverine versus Wolverine.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing, Mystique, which I don't know if this makes a ton of sense, but it also doesn't, it's not necessarily like, It doesn't go against anything the movie has set up, so it works. Wolverine is a cage fighter. He's a street fighter. He's a brawler. Mystique actually knows combat. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wolverine is going to grind you down and maul you like a saber-toothed tiger. Mystique will, like, you do karate and beat you up.
Yeah.
So they're fighting, and she's, like, landing way more hits, but Wolverine doesn't stop. And then they start clashing blades, except hers aren't real. I don't know what they're made out of. Like, did he cut her fingers off?
Yeah.
But there's a point she's blocking his claws with her fake ones, and he cuts through them. And she lets out the most, I don't know if it's a scream of fear or pain. Given that she's never wounded, I'm assuming fear as she realizes, oh shit!
Yeah, I did kind of have an issue with that because I'm like, wait a minute, did he just cut off part of her body?
Yeah, does she have stubby bones in her toes now? I don't know how this works.
Can she regenerate? I don't know.
Well, we know she doesn't regenerate.
True. But the scene where she jumps up to do that spinning kick and she transforms from Wolverine to Mystique.
Yeah.
That is such a cool shot.
Then
Even still good.
Then kicks him in the balls and makes him mad. And he comes on even more fierce than before.
Yeah.
And this actually, I wish it wasn't cut as frantically as it is at times.
Yeah.
This is the best fight scene in the movie.
Easily.
This is really cool. Then she, like, realizes, I need to take a different plan of attack. Because she doesn't really know anything about Wolverine. But she knows he's not tiring. And she knows he's not slowing down as she pummels him. He just keeps coming. Though, we know his metal skeleton was used to disarm that bar guy. Would she have not kicked him in the forehead and broke her ankle?
I don't know.
See, you can't turn it on and off. If you're not going to use it, don't establish it.
Yeah, they don't really use it with her, though. So
that's my problem.
Maybe she can absorb that. I don't know.
If that's the thing, it needs to be established. They established that his metal skeleton is a huge help in fights. Until it's a character. Until it's a real character fighting him, in which case, ignore it.
Got a good point there.
I don't like that. And that's not just a this movie thing. That's a comic book thing.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
There's no consistency in comics, and it bugs the hell out of me, but I'm not going into that conversation. So she escapes. Wolverine's hunting her down, and we do get some of, like, his super senses. He can smell her. Like, there's a scent here that's wrong.
Yeah, and we've established that before with Sabertooth when he first.
And I think that's how he found Rogue in the trailer.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So it's cool. And that's a Wolverine thing. Then Storm is like, we got to meet up with the rest of the team. He's like, yeah, but she's still here. She's like, well, we'll meet up with the others and we can handle it together. Okay, but there's just one problem. And then just turns around and stabs Storm. And he's like, you're not part of the team. And then we find out it's Mystique. And it's like, I got you, bitch.
Yeah, I was like, yes. Oh, wait, that's Mystique.
You're like, got her.
Damn it.
Yes. They meet up, and Magneto just shows up and just owns everybody's face.
Oh, in the actual
the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, and he says this really awesome line. I love it. The X-Men are all trapped up against the wall, wrapped up in metal.
Yeah.
And Scott says, Storm, fry him.
Storm's here.
Yeah, that's weird.
The actual thunderstorm going on outside, not the character.
As soon as I said, Storm, fry him, we hear rain.
You have powers?
Yes.
We're about to... oh, my God.
Watch
if
out.
you have powers, I'm going to manage you like that kid in Black Adam. We're going to get your face on lunchboxes. We are about to make so much money.
If it's lunchboxes, they have to be big lunchboxes to hold my face.
Man-sized lunchboxes.
But Magneto says, oh, yes, a bolt of lightning and a huge copper conductor. I thought you lived in a school.
Actually, Magneto gets a ton of just really great lines. Remember when he's talking to Senator Kelly? Tell me, are you a God-fearing man, Senator? I've always thought the phrase, or what is it? It's like, I've always viewed God as a teacher of understanding and wisdom.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh man, he gets all the
He
best
gets
lines.
a lot of good lines.
And he delivers them perfectly. Magneto goes up in the machine with Rogue. Wolverine breaks out of his bindings, has a kind of a shitty looking CGI fight with Sabertooth.
Yeah. I kind of watched this a couple of different times
Okay.
just to make sure it was as shitty as I had always remembered it being.
And that's the thing. We are not picking on a 24-year-old. I remember watching this at my buddy's house for the first time thinking, this fight doesn't look great. This is not.
No, it's very toned down from what we got the first Sabertooth fight, Mystique fight. It's very much just localized. The CGI doesn't work. I don't think it really worked back then.
No.
And no, it was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Very underwhelming.
Well, the X-Men, through the power of friendship and teamwork, beat Sabertooth. What?
You sounded so condescending.
I did. It's almost like I'm a huge asshole.
Through the power of teamwork and friendship.
Okay, Captain Planet. The poor little Indian kid that got the power of heart.
Power of heart? I don't know.
Remember, he was the power. So Captain Planet, you got all
I never watched Captain Planet.
Okay, so you have Captain Planet. And then there was a child chosen from like 8 different countries, so all the ethnicities were represented. And there was a little Indian boy who got the heart, like, friendship ring. And it's like, this kid controls fire! I have the power of friendship? What the hell is this? I always felt bad for him. He got so screwed. Because it's like, you, blonde-haired boy from America, you control fire. And you Chinese girl, you control water. And you're like, that's cool. And everyone gets these cool powers. But then Captain Planet, or whoever gives them the rings, I don't know, it's like, but none of these powers work without this one. It's the most important one. It's the most powerful one. It's the one that makes it all possible. You, little Indian kid, get the power of friendship that binds them together. And I went, you are overselling the worst ring. So this kid doesn't go home and cry.
Was that Scott Summers? Because I feel like he got the shitty end of the deal.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But they stop Magneto. They save Rogue. She's about to die. Wolverine puts his face into her face. She clings to life, absorbs his power, heals, sending Wolverine into a coma. That is coma number 4, right? 4.
Okay, have a problem.
Okay.
I'm
just trying to move this along.
Okay.
Okay.
So they're in the tower, the Liberty in the or the head.
Yeah.
X-Men are in the head. And somebody brings up the big idea of, oh, Scott, just shoot it. Well, no, I can't because it'll kill Rogue.
Yeah.
The explosion, it'll kill Rogue. Okay, well, we'll just throw Logan up there.
And Storm says, just fly Rogue up on top. That's not how it doesn't work that way, she says.
Yes.
Is this what you're talking about?
Well, part of that. That's one moment. And she says, well, Storm, Scott's like, Storm, where he tries to actually be a leader. Storm, use your powers. Jean, thank you. I couldn't think of her name. Famke Jansen, whatever.
Okay. We haven't heard back from Jennifer Connelly. I still hold out hope. What if we can get Famke?
No. I don't know. She never did it for me.
What?
No.
She's incredibly beautiful.
Oh, no. She's incredibly beautiful, but it's nothing that I was like, My
Racist.
heart is for... Racist? How's that racist? She's too white for me.
She's so white. Ugh.
But then they're like, oh, yeah, Jean, use your powers, try to control him, and then get Logan up there. And then he jumps down into the thing, and he tries to use his blades to destroy the thing. Then Magneto stops him from doing it. But then Scott shoots him in the shoulder, kind of shoots him in the back. Like, come on, dude.
He's a back shooter.
Yeah, exactly. So Yeah, Jean Grey knows.
Oh, and she's got the hemorrhoids to prove it.
Yeah. But then Logan destroys the machine and it blows up.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Scott would have done anyway?
Presumably.
So all of this for nothing.
Well, no, it wasn't for nothing.
All of
It
this
was
for
so
the-
that the actual main character could have his hero moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All for
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Now, I'll bring up a question to your question. Scott is afraid to take the shot because the blades are spinning too quickly. How did Wolverine jump in between them to get in the chamber with Rogue?
I have always wondered that too, because there wasn't much room from the point where he was at.
No,
between the things.
It essentially would have been like trying to jump through the blades of a moving helicopter. And you know what? I don't think that works.
Maybe his regenerative powers are so fast that he jumps through it and gets sliced like pepperonis, but then just reassembles
But his skeleton would have broken the blades.
like pancakes.
It's not a Looney Tunes cartoon.
No, that has always bothered me. I've always kind of wondered
Yeah.
that too.
You know, that's fair.
But
The day is saved, and then the movie ends in the best possible way with more dialogue between Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as they are in his plastic prison, in Magneto's plastic prison, that is, playing chess.
yeah, Xavier wakes up after all the work is already done.
As Xavier is prone to do.
Yes.
You know, Xavier's... Okay, I saw this funny thing. It was like Xavier's mutant power. Fall into comas. Jean Grey's mutant power. Shriek incoherently. And if you're fans of the comics or cartoons, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I really enjoy these two talking over their chess game.
Yes.
Did you notice when Xavier's getting wheeled out and you have all the pieces, you could see the table and everything with all the pieces? Did you notice the way they both play their game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because when it first zooms in, it's just the profile picture of the board with the pieces, but then you can see the pieces that have been removed. Magneto will sacrifice everything for victory. Xavier refuses to sacrifice, and as they play chess, Xavier has a bunch of Magneto's pieces on his side that he's taken off, and Magneto doesn't have any of Charles's, because Charles doesn't sacrifice.
I never noticed this before until this last viewing. Holy crap, this is a really cool attention to detail.
But, oh, yeah. I was going to say something. I'm going to wait. I was
No.
going to say something.
Okay.
No, I want to save it.
Okay.
I think we're there.
I think we're there.
All right. Ratings. IMDb 7.3.
IMDb? Okay.
IMDb.
That's fair.
Smidge low. Rotten Tomatoes 82%.
A little high.
For an overall score of 155. See, and this will be coming up later, I am adding a third addition to our ratings system. IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes use essentially the same 100-point scale. So for us to keep track of the overall rankings of our movies, we're converting both scores into percentages, then adding them together. It's as simple as that. So we have a score that goes from a total score that is 0 to 200, 200 being a perfect movie. This is 155.
Okay.
Reviews. Ebert. I started out liking this movie while waiting for something really interesting to happen. When nothing did, I still didn't dislike it. 2.5 stars. It's fine.
I hate this man. Two and a half is for him is this movie is shit. This movie is good. This movie is decent.
Yeah.
That's 2.5 for him is that.
It's been a bit of a catch-all.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
He can't commit to one way or the other. Like this movie was good, 3 stars. This movie was shit, 1 star.
Right.
Just middle of the road every time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless it's something like undeniable, like
Silence of
the Lambs or Jaws or something. Empire.
Oh, okay.
4 out of 5 stars.
Dang.
Keep this in mind, though. 4 out of 5 stars.
X-Men. Was this a 2000 review?
Yeah.
Okay.
Empire Online.
Okay.
4 out of 5 stars. X-Men is actually pretty darn good. And in a summer so far short of real spectacle, that's near enough a miracle. A movie that was deemed actually pretty darn good. 4 out of 5 stars.
Same thing.
So if he had watched a decent movie, he would have lost his mind. 19 stars on a scale of 5.
Yeah, same concept.
I feel like 4 out of 5 though. You've picked a lane.
Yeah, but you can't say, it was pretty good. 4 out of 5. Whatever, man. Whatever, Empire.
Final thoughts. You're giving the floor to me.
Giving the floor to you.
Okay. This movie's writing is probably its weakest part. The story works enough. The overall plot works enough. There are too many characters given too little to do. The whole movie runtime is a very tight 90 minutes. We have talked a lot about movies that are too long. For how much they have going on, this movie is too short. It probably should have been 120. Just to let some things breathe, let some characters do something. Let Sabertooth get a win instead of our big climactic fight being a given because Sabertooth loses to everyone instantly. And then shocker, he lost. I'm shocked. Shocked and amazed. 3 writers, writer-director, writer-executive producer. I'm saying the curse stands. These are still red flags to me. This movie's writing is not good. Most of the dialogue is just really stilted and lame. The only actual good writing is between Magneto and Xavier, or just coming from Magneto or Xavier. Because they took you can tell they took so much more time with these 2 characters, making sure they come off right and that the actors are represented well. And it shows and it's obvious. And I just wish they had given that much care and attention to the rest of it. The fight scenes are meh. I mean, it's a comic book movie. You expect a certain level of bombastic action that honestly isn't really there. Which in of itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the action we do get minus the Wolverine Mystique fight, which even that is toned down and overly edited. But the rest are just kind of like, that's it? All right, I guess. Moving on. This is a movie. Usually we talk about movies being let down to an irredeemable sort by its writing. This movie could have been that, but is saved by its actors. A lesser cast would have seen this movie drag the bottom. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's tough, he's gritty, but underneath that exterior is a kind heart. But it all comes through as a believable, multi-dimensional character. Rogue is irritating, so we're going to skip her. Jean Grey comes off interesting. Storm and Cyclops are filler. And then you get to the characters that matter, Xavier and Magneto carry this movie. Because you're either mesmerized by watching Stewart and McKellen on screen, or you're waiting for their next appearance on screen. And then the rest is filled in with Hugh Jackman doing a good job. But like, Hugh Jackman does a good job. Hugh Jackman is not at the Stewart McKellen level yet. When we get to like Old Man Logan, when we get to the movie Logan, he can carry that level, and the scenes with him and Patrick Stewart are phenomenal. But he's not there yet, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's getting there. He's finding out, he's getting better as an actor. He's figuring out this character more, etc., etc. This movie should have been better. But again, the writing really lets it down. 3-writer curse, writer-director curse, writer-executive-producer curse, all red flags. I'm saying that's still a thing. All that being said, this is a fun watch. It moves along at a very good pace. It's a short watch that you're either enjoying the characters or at least having fun with what's on screen. That being said, X-Men is worth the ticket price. This is not a great movie, but it's a fun watch that the family can enjoy. If you've never picked up a comic book, this can still get you there. As far as, I don't know the X-Men, well, this will give you what you need to know to enjoy the movie. It's not relying on its audience to know every back issue since 1960 whatever. It's a fun watch. Check it out.
Huh. Okay. X-Men. I like that this movie doesn't hold your hand. You do not have to get every single character's backstory before you understand what their powers are or just who they are as a character.
Mm.
When we first meet Cyclops and Storm, they just show up and do their thing. We don't have to learn the whole backstory of Scott Summers. We don't have to learn the whole backstory of Storm. We get fed little pieces of Wolverine's backstory through his actions, and we learn about his regenerative powers. They show us.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have exposition of telling us everything about him until we get the X-ray scene where they're talking back and forth and trying to learn more about him. It doesn't feel heavy-handed. The story is a little weak. I don't think you said the writing is bad. I don't say necessarily the writing is bad, because there are some great lines in here. There's some great back and forth dialogue between Professor X and Magneto, between Wolverine and Rogue, between Wolverine and Cyclops. I loved their back and forth banter throughout this movie. Especially towards the end when, like Wolverine shows back up after they had 2 Wolverines, and Scott's like, he's like, whoa, it's me. He's like, prove it. You're a dick. Okay, fair enough. But just their whole back and forth bickering, I loved that part of it. There's some great lines that tell us about the backstory of the characters with just one line.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mystique, when she's going after Senator Kelly. She's like, there's people like you are the reason I was afraid to go to school as a child. That's a good line.
Yeah.
The line with Wolverine when Rogue's like, do they hurt when they come out? And he's just very quiet, like, every time. One word sums up everything we need to know about him. This movie has a great cast. Not you, Halle Berry.
How dare
this
you?
This movie has great characters. Not you, Storm.
Oh my God. Toad.
The effects hold up for the most part. Not you, Liberty Logan battle.
But he does a 360 around the crown tip. Never mind.
Yeah. The action scenes are pretty good. They still hold up pretty well, and I think most of them are pretty good. Not you, Toad Storm Scene.
Quit picking on Storm.
But you're right. The characters, they're Storm, Toad, and Scott are just there because they were in the comics.
Sabertooth.
Sabertooth. You're talking about the movie's runtime. Holy shit, this movie is quick. It's like I'm sitting down, I'm enjoying it, I'm learning these characters, and this next thing I know, they're like, "Oh, we're going to Liberty Island." I'm like, "Holy shit!" I felt like I just hit play.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that with what we get now. With every single comic book movie that comes out has to be 3 hours and 30 minutes long.
Not just comic book movies, man.
Just
It's
every
every movie.
Every movie. It's if they made a remake of fucking Happy Gilmore, it would have to be 3 hours long. I'm like, ugh. We don't need movies to be that long. That being said, this movie, you're giving me a look. I love this movie when I first watched it.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to give it a score from when I first watched it, it'd have been a 9 easily.
Okay.
Now, with everything we've got since, seven and a half.
Okay, that's sure.
Yeah,
That's fair.
It's still, it's worth the ticket price. There are some issues with this movie, but I still think it's worth the ticket price.
Mm-hmm.
Just for Magneto and Professor X alone.
100%.
Alone. If no other characters are in this movie and it was just those two, it would still be worth it.
Might be better.
But no, yeah, if you haven't seen it in a while, if you haven't seen it, period, check it out. It's definitely worth a watch.
All right. We are there. Hat time. Hat.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's your turn. So please,
all right.
Don't Joe Dirt us.
That was the hat's decision.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Your handwriting.
Sarah's handwriting. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. Looking in the hat. All right. Oh. Oh. Okay.
Joe Dirt 2.
Joe Dirt 2. Beautiful loser, whatever it was. No, this one is one I put in the hat.
Okay.
At the request of podcast mom, Anna.
Okay.
She said, "You know what you should put in the hat?" I said, "Sure." It's a comedy.
I feel like that's a loose term here. Like,
kind of. Well, it's not a rom-com.
It's a rom-com?
No.
When you have to say it's not a rom-com, it's a rom-com.
I think it's just a comedy. But it does have one of my top 5 celebrity crushes in the lead.
Ernest Borgnine?
How dare you? Ernest did not crack top 15, let alone top 5. Emma Stone.
Okay.
Stanley Tucci's in it.
Stanley Tucci?
Yep.
I know who Stanley Tucci is.
I was going to say, you said his name. We're like, we talk about Stanley Tucci all the time.
Think of any movie that I've seen with Emma, almost said Frost.
Think of the X-Men still.
And Stanley Tucci.
Honestly, I can't think. It's got the bad guy from George of the Jungle in it.
The Jungle?
No.
I've never seen George of the Jungle.
How dare you? It's got Phoebe from Friends. I forget her name.
Okay, you're not selling me on it.
All right.
What is her name? Lisa Kudrow?
Lisa Kudrow.
Okay, yeah. Nope, not selling me
All
on
right.
it.
Easy A.
I have no idea what that is.
It's, call it what it is. It's basically just an adaptation of the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever read Scarlet Letter?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, like it's a high school, like, read the Scarlet. In high school, you had to read, like, Wuthering Heights, Scarlet Letter of Mice and Men.
Is this one of those teen remake of those type of books that they did?
Yeah.
They had a run of those?
Yeah.
Like, what was it? Taming of the Shrew was 10 Things I Hate About You.
It's in that, I think it's in that same vein, but I don't think it was the same time period.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's in that same vein, but I don't think it was the same time period.
Okay.
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 But it could have been. I don't know. I don't know when Easy A came out.
I don't either, but I'm going to find out.
All right.
Easy 2010.
2010s.
When did 10 Things I Hate About You come out?
Easy A.
Oh, 99?
See, I thought 10 Things I Hate About You was older. But it is the same time period. No, but it follows
The
that
same
vein.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
They adapt the concept or the general idea of Scarlet Letter into a teen comedy.
Why can't we have a teen comedy of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein?
As someone who read and thoroughly enjoyed Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, that is. I don't know how you make a teen comedy based on that.
Like, figure it out.
It'll
If you're a writer worth anything, you can fucking figure it out.
That's it. Challenge accepted.
There you go. There you go. That is our movie.
So basically, okay, here's what it would have to be, though. Frankenstein doesn't create the monster, right? Frankenstein, we'll just say it's instead of a doctor, it's a couple. They lose a child. It's hilarious.
Yes, as it always is.
Well, you have to have heart in these movies.
Yeah, because I never laughed so hard than that scene from Pet Sematary when that little kid gets ran over by the semi.
Hilarious.
Fucking dying laughing.
Then they decide to help them overcome their grief that they will house a foreign exchange student. So the student comes in, our monster, and they have to teach the monster their language, their culture, how to interact with people. See, now we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with
A
you.
foundation is here.
I'm digging it.
You're welcome. Actually, I have an idea about our ticket price horror movie. We're done recording. No sharks. You said no sharks.
Okay.
So I got rid of the shark. I replaced it with something else. It might be aquatic. Piranhas. It's not piranhas. It might be piranhas. All right, everyone. Thank you.
What are we doing? Oh, Easy A. I was like, wait a minute. Are you going to tell us what we're doing?
We talked about it.
I know.
Shut up.
I forgot.
Easy A. Emma Stone. 2010. Lisa Kudrow. Bad guy from George of the Jungle. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We are Ticket Price. This has been X-Men from 2000. Worth the ticket price. It's a fun watch. Check it out if you haven't. In the meantime, I forget how my outro goes.
Amanda Bynes?
No. Oh, she is in it. I thought you just were saying Amanda Bynes, and I just said no. You know, Amanda Bynes caused the single emptiest theater experience I've ever had.
She caused it because she was in
it was her movie. No, it was kind of. It was her movie. My girlfriend at the time and her friends wanted to go watch. Was it Sydney White?
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
She plays Snow White, Sydney White, and the 7 dwarves are just high school nerds that she befriends.
That sounds terrible.
It was. The 6 of us were the only people in that theater.
Who thought that was a good movie to pick?
They really liked Amanda Bynes, and I went, really? It's the whole story. It doesn't matter. All right.
Thomas Hayden Church?
That guy from George of the Jungle.
Yeah. Okay. Are you going to do the outro?
I swear to God, I'm going to choke you. Thank you all.
I'm trying to end this episode.
Shut up. Thank you all so much. I want to scream, but can't.
There it is.
Thank you all so much for listening. If you haven't already, please hit that follow button. We greatly appreciate it. Hit the bell, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our regular or bonus episodes. Like, share, pass it around to your friends. We do have a Patreon, ticket price on Patreon, $3 a month. If you feel so inclined to support the channel in that fashion, stay tuned next week as we touch Easy A. No, that
sounds weird.
That sounded weird. As we watch Emma Stone, through her curtains. I'm like, ooh, Ryan Gosling's here too. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Never
We
mind.
should do that movie. Crazy Stupid Love.
It's in the hat.
I know.
Because I've seen
Do some digging.
digging the hat. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Finally, for the love of God, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And good night.
Sydney White got a 6.2 on IMDb.
No, it didn't.
It did. I'm looking at it right now.
No, I'm telling you, it didn't. I saw it.